My mother hired a private investigator to monitor my every move online. I was in my senior year of high school, and it started when I received an email from our school's administration office, asking me to meet with the principal, Mr. Thompson. I walked into his office wondering what I had done wrong, and that's when I saw him, a stern-looking man with a thick beard, who introduced himself as Mr. Thompson's guest. He explained that my mother had been working with him to keep an eye on my digital activities, and that she was concerned about some of the things I had been posting online. I was mortified. I had been joking around with my friends on social media, posting silly memes and comments, but I had never thought that my mother would be reading them. As the day went on, I realized that my friends were avoiding me. They would whisper to each other when I walked by, and I could tell that they were talking about me. I felt like I was being shunned, and it was all because my mother had been snooping on my online life. I tried to talk to her about it, but she just kept saying that she was doing it to protect me, that she wanted to make sure I was safe online. But I knew that wasn't true. She was just trying to control me, to dictate what I could and couldn't do online. That night I sat in my room feeling trapped and helpless. But then I started thinking, if my mother was tracking my every move online, maybe I could use that to my advantage. I started digging into the tracking software she was using, and I discovered that it worked both ways. I could see when she was logging in what she was looking at, and even what she was forwarding to her own email account. It was like having a window into her mind, and what I saw made my skin crawl. She was obsessed with my online life, and she was spending hours every day monitoring my every move. I decided to take matters into my own hands. I created a fake online persona, a character named Ethan, who was a friend of mine from out of town. I made up a whole backstory for him, complete with fake photos and a fake social media profile. And then I started interacting with him online, posting comments and messages that were designed to throw my mother off the scent. I made Ethan seem like a bit of a troublemaker, someone who was always pushing the boundaries and getting into mischief. And my mother fell for it hook, line, and sinker. She started spending even more time monitoring my online activity, trying to catch me in the act of doing something wrong. But what she didn't realize was that I was just playing a game. I was using Ethan to distract her, to make her think that I was up to no good when in reality I was just trying to assert my independence. And it worked. She became so obsessed with Ethan that she started to neglect her own life, spending hours every day monitoring my online activity and trying to catch me in the act. And I was able to use that to my advantage to slowly start to take back control of my online life. It wasn't easy and it wasn't always pretty. There were times when I felt like I was living in a nightmare, like I was trapped in a never-ending cycle of surveillance and deception. But I knew that I had to keep fighting, to keep pushing back against my mother's attempts to control me. And in the end it paid off. She realized that she had been taking things too far, that she had been suffocating me with her constant monitoring and surveillance. And she started to back off to give me the space and the freedom that I needed. I learned a valuable lesson from that experience, that sometimes the best way to deal with people who are trying to control you is to use their own tactics against them. By creating a fake online persona and using it to distract my mother, I was able to take back control of my online life and assert my independence. And I also learned that it's okay to push back against people who are trying to control you, to set boundaries and to assert your own needs and desires. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it in the end.